Good morning, children. Welcome back on your science online classes. This is your science teacher Manju Das. Yes, we had completed 4th chapter. Out of 4 lessons, I had given the notes up to 3 lessons. That last lesson, 4th lesson notes, I will give you later on. So today we are going to start the new lesson, that is lesson 5, coal and petroleum. What is coal and petroleum? Coal and petroleum, it is a fossil fuel. What is a fossil fuel? Fossil fuel are produced by the decomposition of dead plants and the animals, which is buried under the earth. That is called as a fossil fuel. Fossil fuels are obtained from the dead decaying of the plants and animals. So coal and petroleum are obtained from the dead and decaying of plants and animals. So these two are the fossil fuels. Now, yes, in our world we surround of many things. Some are natural and some are man-made. Things we obtain from the natures are called as a natural resources, such as sunlight, air, water, forest and fossil fuel. Fossil fuel, now only I had explained. Fossil fuel means these are produced by the decomposition of dead plants and the animal parts that buried deep in the earth crust. So this process takes thousands of years. Such fuels are coal and petroleum and natural gas. On the other hand, things which are made by a man with the help of machines and the technology are called as a man-made things or artificial things or the synthetic things. Example is a railway bridge, dams, buildings, satellites, etc. So natural resources are classified into two groups. First one is a inexhaustible natural resources and the second one is a exhaustible natural resources. Inexhaustible natural resources means these resources which exist in the unlimited quantity in nature and does not exhaust by doing human activities. These are called inexhaustible natural resources. From the word it is clear, inexhaustible natural resource means it cannot be exhausted because it is abundant in the nature. By the continuous use also it cannot be finished it off. So examples are, what are the examples? Sunlight and air. These are the two examples of inexhaustible natural resources. Now the second one is exhaustible natural resources. The exhaustible natural resources means these resources are limited in the nature. They can be exhausted by human activities, by the continuous use. It can be finished off by the continuous use. So example of these resources are forest, wildlife, minerals, coal, petroleum, natural gas. So these are the two nature source. Okay, so mainly the natural resources can be classified into two. One is the exhaustible one and one is the inexhaustible and exhaustible. Inexhaustible means it cannot be exhausted. It is abundant in the nature, so it cannot be finished off. And exhaustible, second one is a exhaustible natural resources, means it is a limited in quantity. It can be finished off by the continuous use. Now we will learn about the fossil fuel. What is a fossil fuel? Fossil fuel means the fuel or the substance which is obtained from the dead remains of the living organisms, whether it is a plants or the animals. From the dead remains it is formed. That is called as a fossil fuel. So coal is one of the example of the fossil fuel. Coal, it is a hard as a stone and it is a black in color. So that's why the coal is called as a black diamond. It is also called as a black diamond. It is also called as a fossil fuel, and it is also called as a black diamond. And some exhaustible natural resources, these are that coal, petroleum and natural gas are formed from the dead remains of living organism known as a fossil fuel, and this coal is one of the example of the fossil fuel. Yes, coal is one of the fuel. It is used to cook food, and it is earlier it was used in the railway engine to produce a steam to run the engine. It is also used in the thermal power plant to produce electricity. Coal is also used as a fuel in the various industries and in the various rural areas also. This coal is used for cooking the food in the villages. We can say that because they are not having a much money to buy gas, so they are using a coal for cooking the food. Now, for how that coal is formed. Now the question arises, how the coal is formed? What is the story of a coal? How the coal is formed? Yes, about 300 million years ago, the earth had a dense forest in low-lying wetlands areas. Due to natural process like a flooding, these forests got deposit over them. They were compressed due to high temperature and the pressure. The temperature also rose as they sank deeper and deeper under high pressure and temperature. Dead plants slowly converted to coal. So the slow conversion of a dead vegetation into coal is called as a carbonization, since it was formed from the remain of a dead vegetation. So that's why the coal is called as a fossil fuel. It is also called as a fossil fuel because it is obtained from the dead remains of the plants and the animals. So now in the previous paragraph we had learned about the what are the uses of the coal. Now we will learn about the what are the various products obtained from the coal. So the various products obtained from the coal, first one is a coke. What is a coke? Coke is the product obtained from the coal. It is a tough, porous. Porous means small holes are present in it. That is called as a porous and black substance. It is almost pure form of a carbon. Coke is used in the manufacture of steel and in the extraction of various metals. Another product which is obtained from the coal is coal tar. Coal tar is a black, thick liquid like a substance with an unpleasant smell, bad smells, foul smells it comes, and it is a mixture of 200 substance. Yes, and various products are also obtained from the coal tar. So the various substances which are obtained from the coal tar, yes, where the dyes, drugs, explosive, perfumes, plastic, paints, photographic material, roofing material, etc. So products obtained from the coal tar are used as starting material for manufacturing of various substances used in everyday life and in industry like synthetic dyes, drugs, explosive, perfume, plastic, paints, photographic material, roofing materials, etc. So, interestingly, naphthalene balls used to repel moths and other insects are also obtained from a coal tar. And the last product which you obtained from the coal is the coal gas. Coal gas is obtained during the processing of a coal to get a coke, and it is used as a fuel in the many industries, and it is situated near the coal processing plants. So these are the various topics we had covered today. We had learned, and listen children, one video is there. Please watch that video. It will be more clear to you. Yes, thank you.
Coal.
Introduction. We use various materials for our basic needs. Some of them are found in nature and some have been made by human efforts. This list includes air, water, soil, and minerals. Since all these are obtained from nature, they are called natural resources. In the light of the availability of various resources in nature, natural resources can be broadly classified into inexhaustible and exhaustible resources. Natural resources. Inexhaustible natural resources. These resources are present in unlimited quantity in nature and are not likely to be exhausted, that are sunlight, air. Exhaustible natural resources. The amount of these resources in nature is limited. They can be exhausted by human activities. Examples of these resources are forests, wildlife, minerals, coal, petroleum, natural gas, etc. Fossil fuels. Some exhaustible natural resources like coal, petroleum, and natural gas were formed from the dead remains of living organisms, known as fossil fuels. About 300 million years ago, the Earth had dense forests in low-lying wetland areas. Due to natural processes like flooding, these forests got deposited over them. They were compressed. The temperature also rose as they sank deeper and deeper. Under high temperature, dead plants got slowly converted to coal. The slow process of conversion of dead vegetation into coal is called carbonization. Since it was formed from the remains of vegetation, coal is also called a fossil fuel.
Coal. Story of coal. About 300 million years ago, the Earth had dense forests in low-lying wetland areas. Due to natural processes like flooding, these forests got buried under the soil. As more soil deposited over them, they were compressed. The temperature also rose as they sank deeper and deeper. Under high pressure and high temperature, dead plants got slowly converted to coal. As coal contains mainly carbon, the slow process of conversion of dead vegetation into coal is called carbonization. Since it was formed from the remains of vegetation, coal is also called a fossil fuel.
Coal is one of the fuels used to cook food. Earlier, it was used in railway engines to produce steam to run the engine. It is also used in thermal power plants to produce electricity. Coal is also used as a fuel in various industries. When heated in air, coal burns and produces mainly carbon dioxide gas. Coal is processed in industry to get some useful products such as coke, coal tar, and coal gas. Coke. It is a tough, porous, and black substance. It is an almost pure form of carbon. Coke is used in the manufacture of steel and in the extraction of many metals. Coal tar. It is a black, thick liquid with an unpleasant smell. It is a mixture of about 200 substances. Products obtained from coal tar are used as starting materials for manufacturing various substances used in everyday life and in industry like synthetic dyes, drugs, explosives, perfumes, plastics, paints, photographic materials, roofing materials, etc. Interestingly, naphthalene balls used to repel moths and other insects are also obtained from coal tar. These days, bitumen, a petroleum product, is used in place of coal tar for metaling the roads.
It is a tough, porous and black substance. It is almost pure form of carbon. Coke is used in the manufacture of steel and in the extraction of many metals.
Coal gas. Coal gas is obtained during the processing of coal to get coke. It is used as a fuel in many industries situated near the coal processing plants.